They just want you to sit in your chair and go hip hip hooray for the Western press and the Western narrative. Regurgitating the same old every single day without question. Please watch the first series, the first 2 episodes, the second series. Look at that.
Absolutely fascinating.
And it was the first time the Beatles had really stopped being semi-professional almost.
Good evening, everyone. That goes out of focus every time I put it on, unfortunately. I was talking to Anthony and I said, tell you what, Anthony, we come on about 2:45, 6:50, and we'll have a little chat, then we'll go live. And he says, okay, I was sitting here waiting. He must have forgot. But anyway, that's by the by. Tell you what, though, I should have gone out today shopping because I didn't want to do it tomorrow, but nevertheless. And there's a reason why Francine's supposed to take me, you see. But it's because it's the anniversary of my mother's death and Francine's nan. And she said, that's why, Dad. I said, okay. We'll go tomorrow instead. So I said, okay. Just getting a few bits, you know, that's all. For myself. For the festive season. I can't like buy any crackers or anything. I won't be able to pull over anyone. And the boss says, greetings, FC. Just want to say thanks for the channel you're hosting. All our way yesterdays. Thanks very much. Film and TV. And footy, of course, and chatters. Snapey, Ali Denous, the Latin ladies, Steve, and even Raw. Mucho fun. Thank you. That's lovely, that. Thank you. TW. Evening, Frank and Anthony and chat. I'd say. Will P. Thank you, T, for that. And the Will P. Hiya, Will. Happy Xmas Eve. Eve, Frank and Anthony. And all chatters. Do you know what I had on yesterday? I had Nuke on yesterday. Nuke Airport. I went right through them, you know. Lullasat and all that. Never seen any planes landing because it was snowing. But I was there, you know, it was nice just to see. And the way Nuke has changed is incredible from, you know, before it got all done up. Absolutely brilliant. Well, and all the best to you, my friend. Thank you. You're a good man. Smash the likes and subscribe on your way in, please. Says the T. Toscana. Buonasera, Franco and chatters. Hope you're all well. Thank you, Toscana. I think they're all well anyway. And the will says Sunday is quiet. They're now in winter. Yeah, they are. Yeah, that's what I said. Every one I put on, there was snowing. Each airport that is. But it was nice to have a look as well. To be honest, well, it was just nice to have a look. So I was on it yesterday. Something to do like that is. Toscana. Oh, and Anthony. Sorry, I forgot to mention his name. No, I wouldn't bother mentioning it, to be honest. Plus a lot of restrictions on flights in and out of Newcastle at the moment. Yeah. And there's flights, isn't there? There's jet flights now, apparently, from New York. Well, New York. I've seen that. Hi, chat. Hi, Frank. We're in for an entertaining evening, says Paulie. Yes, Paulie. Did you get my Xmas card? Do you know what, Will? I haven't opened any, I haven't opened any. And I will. Do you know when I opened them? I always open my cards on the 23rd, tomorrow. Every card. But thank you, Will. Thank you so much for that. Saturday, oh yeah, Chris Ray. Chris Ray, see. Driving home for Christmas. Yep. I'm going to bring in my old mate. Sitting there moaning at me. Saying, when's this fella going to bring me on? Shall I bring him on or leave him? Oh, I can't bring him on. There he is. Great friends of mine. There he is.
Good evening. Good evening. I've been in the green room since 10 to 7.
Yo, you lying. I've been looking for you.
I was there drinking all the bevy.
Oh.
You only had
Under the table then. Under the table. And there, look at that. The Will P. Evening, Anthony, says Will.
Good evening, Will. Good evening. And good evening, one and all. I've been listening and hearing your welcomes tonight. Great. Yeah.
Well, tonight we're going to go reflect, throughout the year and what we're going to expect next year. What we're going to start talking about and bringing in new characters.
And new realms. We discussed on air and privately the possibilities of discussing in focus the very people who built this city, Liverpool, but also England, and the wonderful engineers and architects that really kind of, we feel, deserve more of a mention as a person, and not just their name and attached to a building, but why they did it, how they were inspired, and and most.
I think that's great that just what you said, because the way they say Liverpool has wonderful historical buildings, and which they're right, they always say it.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about people from the outside who come to Liverpool and are astounded by the architecture. But you're quite right. We'll be putting faces to these people. These people put the stamp on Liverpool to the world. They said, yeah, this is what we can do. And it's just like, I'll have to mention one Herbert J. Rouse.
Yes.
And Herbert J. Rouse, the greatest for me, the Art Deco architect.
Beautiful.
He was the greatest ever. And even the Americans tried to entice him over to America. And he said, no, he said, I've got plenty of work here. You see, so it's people like that. I'm putting a face to these people and saying his little backgrounds as well.
Yeah.
And when we go to characters of Liverpool, some of the greats, we have mentioned this particular person, but we won't go into detail about it now. And yet, even people in Liverpool haven't heard of her. And she's a forgotten name. The unfortunate thing is, we're a forgotten name. Her daughter is more famous, well more famous than her. But you've got this lady who was one of the greats of Liverpool, one of the greats for women, one of the greats for women's rights, right here in Liverpool. And it's strange, isn't it? I bet you people are thinking it's like Mary Wollstonecraft and Mary Shelley, you know, by saying, but her daughter was more famous. But we had it right here in Liverpool, a very famous lady who was a politician.
Yeah.
But her mother set the standards for the daughter.
Yeah.
And we'll surprise them with what we know, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I think she should be up there in the annals of these great ladies from Liverpool. What do you think, Anthony? And her name is?
Her name is Mary Bamber.
And there's Mary Bamber, and there's her daughter.
And there's her daughter. And her daughter's name is Bessie Braddock.
Yes.
And we all know that. Both of them should be on the walls of every art gallery in this area, in the north of England. I mean, Mary Bamber is Scottish born in, I think, Edinburgh.
Yeah, that's right.
She wasn't born into poverty. This is what I find remarkable, Frank. And it's a similar thing to William Morris, who were born into kind of a relative comfort. But in their early years, they realized the disparities between those that have and those that have not.
Yeah.
And her story is just absolutely remarkable. She chose a path.
But we won't talk about it. We talk about it.
Well, I mean, I won't. We will. I love the fact that you showed the faces, because I think it's important that we put.
She was a very pretty lady, was Mary Bamber.
Yeah.
No, I've spoken about her for years.
Yeah.
And I told you today privately that I got the shock of my life, but we'll do that when we talk about it properly.
Yeah.
About St. George's Hall Plateau.
Oh,
and I told you that I got the shock of my life. I thought, wow, you know, there she is.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about it some other time, and let's see what our chatters have been saying. Oh yeah, Paulie. Yay, I too, Anthony, looking good. Yeah.
He looks good. Thanks, Paulie. Good evening.
And Toscana says about Chris Ray, who died today. Yes, may he rest in peace.
Yeah. Italian descent, Italian
Yeah,
family.
yeah. And
Wonderful.
Snapey says, my cousin's here for a visit, so it's off down to Garston for a bevy. Have a great night, one and all. Thanks, Snapey. And enjoy your bevy with your cousin,
Yeah,
obviously.
indeed. Yeah, yeah.
I bet you the, I bet you the, if his cousin's with him, he'd be a Stoke City supporter. Holy Snapey.
Could be.
And Paulie says, shame about Chris Ray, brilliant musician. I loved his guitar playing on the beach and his Xmas hit, Driving Home for Christmas. Yep.
Yeah. Do you know what, Paulie? Me too. I absolutely love. Got the chance to see him at our own beloved Philharmonic years ago at Laney, and he just blew the roof off. Fantastic. And I always remember the name of his piano player who he had with him for many, many years. It's a weird thing, music, because the minute you start to make a name for yourself, the record company would say, well, sack that band and we'll get a new band, or we'll do this, do that. And they orchestrate your career. And he wouldn't have none of that. Mick Middleton was the name of the gentleman that played with him. And he too was phenomenal. I loved Chris Rea, yeah, right through from the 70s. You know.
And, it's that time of year that,
His music.
yeah.
Well, you actually, we talked briefly today, but you opened up the show with today is the anniversary of the loss of your mum, and obviously we've lost a few people around this time. And Lainey and I lost a dear friend on Saturday evening. And when we talked, we thought, we're all going to go. That's a certainty of life. But what a truly beautiful time of the year to pass when everything is light, bright, happiness. This is like the greatest point in our year, I think.
Yeah, but it's all peace and love and be,
It's peace and
it's all about.
learned. You learned so much from your mum. I mean, me too. My mum, Christmas Day, 20 years since she gone, and the first few years after she passed, I found it hard to think of Christmas. But we had my dad, and we had the kids, and we had life. Life has a habit of carrying you with it, and then at a point you think, no, it's a wonderful time of the year to raise a glass to those that we love and sadly lost.
And as you said, it's. But I tell you, every Christmas they always seem to be tragedies. What I mean, like in tragedies, I always had the feeling every Christmas that there was going to be a house fire or something like that, where people have perished, and I was right. It's every year. But let's not dwell into that because it's Christmas. Lindsay Ellis, even if Frank and Anthony, Merry Christmas to you both. Thank you, Lindsay, and Merry Christmas to you.
Linda, and you too, you and yours.
Hi, Frank and Anthony, and everyone, like and subscribe for Christmas. Not for Frank, but for Christmas.
Yeah. Christmas forever. Thank you, Christopher, for only.
And little Lambie, Helen. Good evening, Frank, Anthony, and chatters. Shall I tell you? I was telling you about Ambi, wasn't I?
Yeah.
About sending me a message.
Yeah.
Talking. She sent me a message just to see how I was. That's all, just to see how I was.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, I had a funny day. I'm talking a funny 36 hours because I fell asleep. You know, the way you get up in the morning and, you do what you have to do in the morning. And so I sat down, fell asleep. And then again, you wake up and then had some lunch or brunch or whatever it was. And then sitting there, I had no lights on whatsoever. So I was just sitting there. And the next, I fall asleep. Well, I don't know. I fall asleep. I just conked out. And I woke up and I went, and it was pitch black. No telly was on, nothing. And I went, oh no. And I looked and it was 5 o'clock. And I went, oh no. I thought it was 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So anyway, I went to bed. So I went to bed and I was lying there like you do. I couldn't go to sleep. I was going, oh. I said, I can't go back to sleep. Anyway, I went to sleep. I just felt bang gone. And then I woke up at 1 o'clock and I went, oh no. No, I woke up just after 12 and I went, oh no, I'm never going to sleep. It's midnight, right? So anyway, I got up, got something to eat, goes back to bed. And I went, I've got to try and sleep. I'll have to. Then anyway, I zonked. And then I heard, bing, and I woke up, right, and I went, oh. And then bing again. I went, oh no. I thought, fucking hell, who's this? So anyway, I done nothing. And I went back to sleep, thank God. So I get up at 7:30, made up. I said, I slept through. But it was still dark. I was going, what time is it? Why isn't it lighting up? I don't know what's that pinging wasn't like 3:15 in the morning AM. It was in the afternoon. And I was saying to Anthony, I said, I got it. And it was the lovely Ambi saying, how are you? I was telling Anthony, she won't wake up. And she said,
no. Don't know what day it is, what time it is.
It's mad, isn't it? Absolutely mad this time of year where you lose track of time.
Frank, I have sat in this room since 7 o'clock this morning, waiting for it to lighten up a bit and I'll go to work. And it didn't. At 1:30, I put the lights on. And then...
it's just nuts, isn't it? But and I lost that 36 hours. That was nuts. I've never been through that in my life.
I think you totally need to catch up with it.
Yeah, most probably. Just tell you that. I'll have to get into my bed. It's an orthopedic bed. And, just go on it and bang, I'm gone. It.
Yeah.
Very comfortable. Anyway.
I'm like that on the clothesline.
And there's Ambi, look. Good evening, Frank, Anthony, and chatters.
Good evening.
Hey, Ambi. Buonasera, Franco, Antonio, and all, says Bella Italian. Are you Bella?
I love that, Antonio. I'm going to come back in a new life as Italian.
You
I
might
feel
come
it.
back. See, I've always believed that we live in a past, a present, and a future. You might come back as Leonardo da Vinci.
Oh, you know what? You know what? Uh, that is the greatest compliment you could pay anyone. Pay anyone that. He was the one. He wrote the book and threw the book away.
Incredible man.
Yes.
And Steve Mulholland. Good evening, Frank, and chat.
Good evening, Steve.
And the Paul, he's saying, he's just saying to the Ambi, to Bella, and to Steve. Oh, yeah,
Brilliant.
lovely that.
Good.
And Polo's with us. Hi, Frank and Anthony. What's today's topics? Today's topics is going to be good. We're going to reflect, but I'm going to show some prints as well. We're going to reflect on what we did over the year. Also, what we're going to do as well is to talk about what we're going to do next year, which will be good actually. We've got great things lined up, and it's well worth listening to and getting to know characters rather than just buildings or whatever.
Oh, names.
Names, that's it. So that's what it'll be, Polo. You see, I'm absolutely gobsmacked at some of the things that have been said over the year, actually. By the chatters, by the chatters.
Yeah.
Because they are interested in certain things, and certain things
Yeah.
is, say, like, let's pick something, say, like it's the simple thing. I always remember someone asking me, I think I got a message, and it said, Frank de Mersey, where did the name originate? And I said, well, it's Mercian. There was a Mercian language, and they just named this big waterway, this long strip of water, river, the Mersey, which meant boundary. And it was the boundary between Liverpool or Liverpool and Birkenhead and the Will. So it's things like that that we can reflect on. And Paulie says, I'd come back as a duck, comical language. You could walk, swim, and fly. Plus, I really love bread, people. I really love bread. People are throwing the stuff at you. But it's nice, isn't it? You don't think of that. Comical language. You
Yeah.
could walk, swim, and fly. A duck.
Yeah.
Funny that. That was funny. So next year, Anthony, as we were saying, we'll be talking. But what I want to talk about as well is characters.
Yeah.
Characters that we've never even heard of.
Yeah. Me too.
That's the likes of Mary Bamber. But there's other people as well
Yes.
who have given so much to Liverpool, and unfortunately are unrecognised.
Yeah.
I think I've spoke about this fella millions of times, and when I mention him, you go, "Oh yeah, I've heard of him," and the people on the chat will say, "Oh yeah, I've heard of him because you've mentioned him," and that's Wyndham sadly.
Yes.
You know, quite a remarkable man. And we'll be talking about him
Yeah.
in future streams as well. We'll be talking about one of the greatest of all, and he deserves to be mentioned, and he's a Londoner, but he came to Liverpool, and what he done for Liverpool is unprecedented. It really is, and that's David Lewis. And Mr. Lewis,
Brilliant.
he just looked, he's seen the hardship of Liverpool, the hardships of Liverpool. And what he done for the people is remarkable. But we'll go more in depth about him as well.
That's brilliant. Brilliant.
And a couple of artists as well. A couple of artists I want to talk about. We'll be talking about and showing their works. And people, you know, people will say, well, why weren't they famous? Because I've never heard of them. And it was their true, believe it or not, art critics. And yes, most probably you've seen their paintings. You've seen their paintings.
Yeah. I can believe that, Frank. And on our other, wearing our other hat, that that's so true of writers and poets. It's not because their work was unacceptable or not brilliant. It was because critics, and we as a race, unfortunately, we like to follow someone else's opinion about stuff instead of embracing our own opinion. Yeah. Oh, look,
Yeah, because critics are very, they can make or break anyone's profession.
yeah,
Make or break.
absolutely.
You know, as I said, we'll talk more about these later in the year, about these artists. And you have seen, you know, I'm saying to the chat, you have seen their paintings, which is strange. And
Yeah,
yet, they weren't that famous, unfortunately.
no,
Uh,
we we
go on.
had we had a whole team of brilliant artists that were known as the Northern Pre-Raphaelites. The work is exceptional. Some of it still exists in museums, but most of their names have been forgotten. We have some of the most profound and brilliant war artists,
Oh,
first and second, and their work in the main is not in Liverpool. It's in Manchester or London, and it should be here. But yeah, I'd like to, you know, we'll bring their names in. Some of them are only centre of the town, born and bred. Some of them Birkenhead sides of the water.
it's like um, it's like when I mentioned Thomas Brassey the other week.
Yes,
You know, Brassey Street and Brassey Street School, they were named after him. And there's not many people who know about him.
no,
Yet he was one of the greatest railway engineers in the world. And
brilliant.
what he gave to the likes of France, Australia, New Zealand, parts of the Rockies,
India,
India, I just said that. Just said that. France, India, Australia, you know, incredible man. So
yes,
we'll be talking about other people as well in that field,
yeah,
not in the field of not in the fields of railway, but we will mention a few
Well,
who had the railway built, for example.
these are all part of the same family as the people who built our city.
Yeah,
And more.
and more, yeah, and more. You know, you've got an Italian descent. His parents were Italian, and his house is still there today, where he was born. This Italian descent from Italian parents, and he was Liverpool's greatest inventor. Paolo Ferranti. So once, we'll talk about him, we'll talk about his inventions and things. 73 inventions he had. He was our greatest ever inventor. Yet, there's a man who, I won't mention his name, and it wasn't an invention as such, but he did something that could be, I'm not mentioning his name now, but he was a great Liverpool physicist and Liverpool University lecturer. And what he did changed the world. So I'll be talking about him.
Yeah.
Well, both of us will be talking about him. Is that round 1 or round 3? With the bell there.
You know what? I've not sneezed for days.
Anyway, Polo says, our critic and media critics are gatekeepers to a career and success. Absolutely. Absolutely. And people have walked away from what they thought that they were going to be good at, and most probably were going to be great at.
Yeah.
But they've walked away from it because of these critics.
They have to be destroyed by it. Yeah. And it's like that old thing which we've often expanded on, and it again, it goes back to Oscar Wilde and the like of in life, be yourself, because everyone else is taken. But it's my belief that every artist, musician, writer should be different. Otherwise, we're all reading off the same page and we're all doing the same thing. And unfortunately, that's the way I feel society is going. Because the difference is tried to iron it out. And they tried it years ago with the likes of William Turner and William Blake, and then in our lifetime, the likes of John Lennon. Everyone is not meant to be the same, but the majority of critics are, because it's the fashionable thing. This is the fashion, to knock that or praise that. It doesn't make sense. It's never made sense to me. But
you know what? I've been thinking there when you were saying that, and what one of the lads said about critics. I forget who said this. I really do. I don't have a clue, but it always resonates with me. A fool can take away the genius of man. And he was talking about critics.
Yeah.
a fool can take away the genius of man. Now that could be the likes of Oscar Wilde who said that.
Yeah, could be, but you know, I'll dip my head into it tomorrow. But I always loved that quote from Erasmus, which was basically about people who try and copy, steal what you're doing, whether it be historians, and I know they've tried with you, and there's not any of them come within a million miles. But what they do is then, and this is Erasmus in his quote, which I forget, but the depth is they try and clone you, copy you, and they surround themselves with people who say, "Oh, that's brilliant, bravo, that's brilliant." Like the Emperor's New Clothes. I mean, that's my thing with Lainey. When we're looking through stuff, and she says, "Have you seen that?" And I said, "Yeah." Emperor's New Clothes, and everyone's so critics and public alike are so scared to say, "Oh, it's not very good," or "That's a piece of." So they applaud because no one wants to be the one to say the emperor's wearing no clothes.
Yes,
I don't
yes.
complain it now. I'm at an age that where I kind of feel comfortable. You know, I'm not. I was brought up to support anyone who's trying anything in the arts. Don't knock anyone,
I
but there
think
are,
I think any profession,
yes,
you know, if anyone's trying to make a go of things, I think you should be encouraging rather than
yeah, people
standing
don't,
back and let them. Yeah,
yeah,
do you see what I mean?
yeah,
And
absolutely. My
steam
line,
along.
my line is crossed when someone is seemingly wanting to make a career on the back of someone else's work.
And they do actually. That's why I don't like plagiarism. And you know me about plagiarism, don't you, with a certain person?
Oh, I do, yeah,
And shocking.
yeah,
And it happened to me.
yeah,
It happened to me, as you know, but we won't go into that.
no,
Stephen Lolland says Liverpool had great astronomers like Horrocks and William Lassell. Absolutely.
yeah,
Jeremiah Horrocks. And you
yeah.
know, Manchester, honestly, they tried to. We
Poaching,
talk about Horrocks, we won't talk about him now because he was a great astronomer. And he found the likes of these moons of Venus. And so we'll talk about that as well. We'll talk about him and his other findings, by the way. Mathematical genius. Died at the age of 24, and he was a mathematical genius.
jeez,
William Lassell, absolutely brilliant. But I'll also be talking about some watchmakers because we had a watchmaker and time, a clockmaker who actually, you're not going to believe this, sounds mad, this, but actually puts the tick in the watch and the chimes in the clock. We did it.
wow,
We did it here in Liverpool. So there's lots of things that we'll be talking about. You know, things that, you know, you could say, wow, I didn't know. Wow, I remember him, you know, or her,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
Paul, Hans Christian Andersen, a clever man, great storyteller.
yeah.
Was Hans Christian, but nothing to do with Liverpool. Like, but even if Frank Anthony in chat says Owen Lee,
Good evening, Owen.
Owen Lee. Thanks, Owen. Glad you with us. And the Anfield. Plagiarism, Christ, Frankie, you've been ripping off Des Lynam for years. You want to see our kid? Gerald. God, blimey. He's not half like him. I've been Des Lynam. Yeah, so it should be good what we're going to do, because we'll be putting faces to things. And look at this, Anthony. Oh, I've just got to thank Gap Painting Services for fully time served. These are the sponsors of the Frank Carlyle pods. And brilliant lads. Fully insured. Everything, these people. Absolutely. I had them in. Before they sponsored me, I just had them in. And they did a great job. And dead reasonable. And then a few months later, they contacted me and said, you've been kind, because I used to mention them anyway. And they sponsor us now. I think it's lovely.
Yeah.
They are the first class. They're in and out as well. They're in and out. They'd even make you a cup of tea. That's what they do. And the Anfields, even in Franny is there, and Anthony, and all those Scotches.
Good evening, Anfield. So here it is, Merry Christmas.
Yes. It's funny, I said, when you just said there it is, Merry Christmas, he was in the car with Francine last time. I was in it last week sometime. And what's his name? Noddy Older got mentioned.
Yeah.
I said, I never ever liked them, Slade. And she loved them. And I went, I thought they were dreadful myself, but people like them.
People love it because it's like a rousing chant for Christmas, isn't it? I've never met him, Noddy, but he's a great fan of Liverpool, and he's here a lot. He and his wife. I think he's been made, like Sir Paul has made him a kind of a patron of Lippe. But even before that, he was here a lot. And our good mate Derek would be able to tell us a bit more about that. But he seems a really, really lovely guy, and we like lovely people. We're surrounded by him on here, but
I've got to mention Myra. Hey everyone, on Friday. We missed you on Friday. Myra, I've just been explaining about it. And I had a crazy 36 hours. Whereas when I should have been on at 7 o'clock, I thought it was night time. I thought it was daytime. I was getting mixed up with day and night. And I just kept sleeping all the time. Well, it's what you call the lost 36 hours of Frank. The lost 36 hours of Frank, to be honest, Myra. So that's why. Just crazy. Just crazy.
The wonders of limoncello.
Oh, limoncello. Love it. The Anfield says, William Roscoe, pretty important figure. The city should be proud of. Absolutely. He's known as the greatest Liverpudlian, by the way.
Yeah.
he brought us all the Italian works. He brought us the botanical gardens. No one's ever done that in their lives. So we had the very first botanical gardens in 1801. And he brought the masterpieces of Italian artwork because he had his own collection.
Yeah.
Wonderful man.
Yeah.
And he was the very first, sorry about this, yeah. He was the very first, believe it or not, Anthony, resident in Rodney Street.
Brilliant.
And his home is still there with a plaque on the wall. It's great, Rodney Street.
Yeah. We are big fans of William Roscoe Anfield. And not unfortunately, fortunately, he's remembered in statues across the city, really, where there's a lot of people who should be remembered in artworks, statues, who aren't. So we're pushing for them too.
The Anfield Ross is, if you don't see Noddy older, you can hear him ordering a coffee, bloody pipes on that lad. Yes. And that other fella, you know, who's wearing the guitarist, the little fella with the biggest platforms on the planet. They were like ladders, what he had to make him look taller. This is what he just stood on a step ladder. All right there, Noddy.
I loved him. I loved him way back in the 70s. I loved him.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, blah, I thought they were.
It's hard to realise now because everything sounds the same now. But when they came out, they were different. They were rocking. It's like Status Quo and all sorts of.
I always thought that they shouted the songs. So here it is, Merry Christmas, everybody having fun.
But it pulled everyone together. Any venue, any boozer, even now. There'd be a pub in town that cranked the volume up on that.
Love Sleighs and Glam Rock says Toscana.
There you go.
Another city hero for me, Chris Boardman, often forgotten.
Yeah.
I gave a talk. I don't know whether you're there. Do you know what, Anthony? It's only what the Anfield Roar said. I don't know why they got hold of me. I think I was giving a talk somewhere, and someone must have been in the audience or whatever at the function. And he came up to me and he said, hello, Jane. I said, oh, hello. He said, would you give a talk for us? I said, who are you? He said, it's a cycling club. And I went, yeah, all right. Yeah, that's nice. Cycling club. Oh, no, it didn't. No, I'm sorry. Excuse me. He just said, hey, we'd like to invite you to a dinner, Mr. Carlyle. I went, oh, okay then. Yeah. And it's through this. So anyway, we goes to this dinner at the cycling club. I forget where it was. Anyway, we gets there, my one and I, at the time. So he goes, well, it's great that you've come, you know, he was worrying if you're there. So anyway, he goes, and I didn't realise that the Liverpool Cycling Club was the first club formed in the world here in Liverpool. And I was at the place where it was formed.
Wow.
I didn't know this.
Brilliant.
So, no, I never had a clue. So anyway, you know, I'm there and the people are mingling around and I went, there's Chris Boardman there. And I walked over to her and I went, hello, Chris. And he went, all right. I said, how are you? And he said, oh, okay. I said, thanks for, all the Olympians. And he said, oh, thanks, he said, yeah. So they start going sitting down. It was a big table here, right here, where the chairman sat. There was two other tables on each side going down, and another table at the end going across. So it was a big rectangle, if you know what I mean. The tables and chairs and dinners. So anyway, I get ushered to mine. Are you sitting here? Oh, okay, thank you. And my one at the side, she got seated, right, but away from me, if you know what I mean. She got seated. Anyway, where we were sitting, who was sitting next to me left, was the chairman of this place. So I'm sitting next to the chairman. And my one is sitting next to him. I'm sitting to his right, she's sitting to his left. So wherever we are, sitting there. And this is genuine. Honestly, God. The gavel went down and said, and he starts talking, blabbering on about whatever. And then he went, I'm going to hand over now to our main speaker of the evening. So I'm just sitting there waiting for the main speaker of the evening. And he went, Dr. Frank Carlyle. I wasn't told that. I thought it was just going along for a function or something to eat. And I had to get up and give a talk. And I went, I've just seen lots of Olympians in here. I really have brilliant Olympians. I said, but let me tell you something about not Olympians, but great people of Liverpool. Wonderful people of Liverpool. Wonderful ladies. Wonderful gentlemen. So I just started talking about everyone. Not anything about the cycling club. Never had a clue.
Talk about sing for your supper.
God, but they enjoyed it. Chris Bowman says anyway. He said, you like that? I said, I didn't expect to be speaking. I said, I only thought I'd come up here for some fish and chips and that. He's just laughing his head up. Crazy, isn't it?
You know what? These are the moments that make up the life, really. Because you get past it in the scary moments. And then you think back and you think, that was a great night. Because you didn't expect it.
No,
it wasn't planned.
No, absolutely. But it was frightening, you know what I mean? It's like, can I say, it's like going to somewhere and you're having a clue about the subject matter and you have to talk about it, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
I remember being in a lift in St. George's Hall. Again, this is... anyway, a girl was only a young girl, and she was waiting for me, and she had a little clipboard in her. So I walked in, and so on, so there's Frank there. And she came and she said, "Oh, you Frank, you're 10 minutes late." I said, "I know, I do apologise." So anyway, he gets in the lift to go up to the concert room, chock-a-block, and standing in the lift going up, and I said to her, "Have you got any idea what I'm supposed to be talking about today?" But you should have seen her face. She went, "Don't you know?" I said, "No, what am I talking about?" And she went, "You're talking about the First World War." And I seen the worried look on her face. I said, "Don't worry, I know about the First World War." And she went, oh shit. You see what I mean? It's things like, just imagine, being told what you're going to talk about. And You don't know, like the cycling club.
Well, we kind of dumped that on you, didn't we, at the opening of the 100 Heads? And we said to you, we didn't say, Frank, we thought this or this or this. We just said, would you open the show, Frank? Would you give a talk? And you said, yeah. And then we met on the night and didn't discuss anything.
The rest of the
Brilliant. Fantastic.
I'll just mention this, and where we had the Botanical Gardens, Edge Lane. Do you know where?
There we go. There we go.
Wavertree, right? It's still there today. It's still there today. I'm trying to think. The Devonshire Hotels, where the Devonshire Hotel is, right facing there. Right facing there.
There's the map. Jason's on it.
Yeah, he is. Listen, shall we go for a break?
Yeah.
Come back. I want to make myself a cup of tea.
Cool.
Is up for that?
Yeah.
Quick break.
Fine.
Say this city's name almost anywhere in the world and people will recognise it. Whether that's for its football,
Fabinho's got some space, he's got three up there with him, and he squeezes it through the legs!
its rich history, or the music that was born here. Because as British cities go, few are more iconic than Liverpool.
The friendliness of people here has really taken me aback.
From the welcoming nature of the people here to their unique accents, Liverpool feels different. Some Scousers, as people from Liverpool are called, think of it a bit like a city-state, separate from the rest of the country. And many don't identify with England at all, displaying banners like "Scouse not English." Liverpool fans have even been known to boo the British national anthem at football games. So what's this divide all about, and why has Liverpool ended up so different from the rest of the country? We were here to find out. Let's jump forward, a little closer to the present. Almost 40 years since the end of World War II and the independence of India, and the British Empire was long gone. Add to that changes in shipping practices, like containerisation, and Liverpool's docks were becoming less and less important compared to other ports like Dover. Less trade meant fewer jobs, and unemployment and poverty skyrocketed to some of the highest rates in the UK. The city was suffering. Enter Margaret Thatcher, Prime Minister of Britain through the 80s from 1979 to 1990. And this is where it gets dark. Because rather than invest in Liverpool to get it back on its feet, her government planned a strategy of managed decline.
What the Conservative government wanted to do, he wanted to manage decline a city, and Liverpool was chosen. Don't invest in it, don't do anything. It's like getting a balloon, blowing it up and just letting it out slowly. And you just see it slowly degenerate into nothing. The Conservative MP, she said, I'd like to build a wall around Liverpool to show future generations how we lived or how they lived. And that was shocking. That was shocking to manage to decline a city as strong as Liverpool.
Some in the government saw the 1981 Toxteth riots in Liverpool, which were sparked by racism in the Merseyside police force, as an opportunity to start this managed decline, or strategic abandonment.
More than 100 white and coloured youths fought a pitched battle against the police. At daylight, the police began a series of charges to break up the gangs massed in front of them.
All this unrest and the government's response pushed Liverpool even further from the rest of England. But for a lot of people, it was 1989 that was the last straw. The year of the deadliest sporting event in British history. The Hillsborough disaster. At the semi-final of the FA Cup between Liverpool and Nottingham Forest in Sheffield, Yorkshire, police mismanagement of a crowd of Liverpool fans caused a crush. It took the lives of 97 people and injured another 766. It was the police force's fault, but they covered up their failings, feeding false stories to the press, blaming hooliganism and drunkenness of the fans themselves for the disaster.
And then there was the Hillsborough disaster, which happened on the 15th of April 1989, and I was actually there. I'm a survivor of Hillsborough. Very recently another victim had died, and it used to be 96, now it's 97, because the coroner came out and said that this lad who had recently died has became the 97th unlawful victim. Unlawful. So it was, people are still fighting for justice, unfortunately, and it seemed that everybody turned their backs on Liverpool. Everybody. I'm talking about the whole of the country. And you had the Sun newspaper who came out with the truth, though. It was shocking what they were actually saying about Liverpool fans, and they caused it, and they were drunken yobs, and they were urinating on, the police who were trying to help, and they were also pickpocketing the dead, which was scandalous to say the least. It was scandalous to say these things. And it's shocking to think how people turned their backs, especially against the 97. And there still isn't justice, albeit that they were unlawfully killed. And, people still believe that it was the Liverpool fans, but they've been found not guilty of it. They've been exonerated from what the Sun called the truth. And yet they never really apologised. They should have had a front page, and the Sun newspaper is actually banned here. So now you have a big Liverpool banner saying Scouse not English, only because of the press and the bad name Liverpool gets.
The lies about Hillsborough were built on negative stereotypes about Scouse people and Liverpool. And it worked. The police spent 30 years blaming the victims, and a lot of people believed what they were saying. When the police force eventually had to pay out compensation for their lies to bereaved families, lawyers called it one of the largest and most shameful cover-ups by a police force in history. Of all these events, the Hillsborough disaster and the injustice that followed are the most fresh in Liverpool's collective memory. It was only in 2016 that an investigation officially placed the blame on the emergency services. So now, over 100 years since Winston Churchill sent gunships up the Mersey River, this city is set apart from the rest of England. And this is what happens when people who feel Scouse not English hear the British national anthem. A lot of people wonder why Liverpool has been treated this way over the last century. Maybe the London press didn't like the city's rebellious nature. Or perhaps classism is to blame, since it's always been a very working class city and an epicentre for the fight for workers' rights. Whatever the reason, Liverpool has been through a lot. And yes, it has the same problems as any major city. But it's about time it was recognised for what it is, not what the media makes it out to be. One of the country's most musical and artistic cities, home to some of the friendliest people in England. The city that gave us the first ever passenger railway, the very first X-ray department, and one of the first ever wireless radio broadcasts. A hub of culture, home to the country's oldest Chinatown, built by people from all over the world, that saw the highest of highs in its heyday and is bouncing back from the lowest of lows it endured in the 20th century.
It's incredible what Liverpool have achieved and what's gone out, but unfortunately we get no credit. And this is what people, they really need to be educated about Liverpool instead of having this negative look at Liverpool. And that's the way I am. And I've always shouted Liverpool from the tops of the roofs. I've been asked, what does it mean to me to be a Scouser? Well, Scousers are very, very proud people. When I go away and people ask, where are you from? I say Liverpool. They go, oh, you're a Scouser? Yes, of course I'm a Scouser. I don't put on accents. It's the way I speak, because people have said, do you put this accent on? I'm very, very proud to be a Scouser. I would just leave it at that.
Fantastic.
I didn't know he's putting that on.
Absolutely. I think that's it's a brilliant film anytime, but it's a brilliant film to end the year on, because it sums everything up. That young lad was tremendous. See, I had the pleasure of sharing a pod with you, and Jay set it up. Tieran Freeman.
Yeah, Tieran Freeman.
And I urge all of our wonderful chat family, check out his work, because he cycles across the globe, and he undercuts the propaganda and the slander of cities, including Liverpool, which we're very proud he did. And he delivers a wonderful, true account of what these cities are like, whether it be Dubai or Liverpool or wherever else. And he's got a YouTube channel, hasn't he, Frank?
Mm.
That's where.
You know what? He does his own research as well, you know. Because anything I say, you know, he substantiates it with his own research.
Yeah.
You know, you do get that with like the BBC, with any television company that I've been on. They ask me, you know, will you do so? Yeah, okay, so I do it. But before I do it, you know, they actually go into their researchers to say that I've got something right.
Yeah, fact checking.
Oh yeah, they do. They have to. They have to.
Do you know what? I'm slightly more objective now than when I first saw the film and first listened to him. He was really, really objective in many aspects, and I love that. I think that's one of the truest films that's been made about Liverpool, and made even greater because we had the great Mr. Frank in the middle of it. But you know what I mean? It was, where have we seen that fairness?
Yeah.
We've not seen it anywhere else, have we? Not the BBC, not the ITV.
No.
not Channel 4, and not from our own.
No, not from our own. And that lad comes all the way from wherever he comes from, and to this thing, did it? Jeanette says, my friend held the door open to let someone out of Waterfields, Prescott. And as he went to get served, his customer attendant said, that was Les Dennis. Oh, well, that's nice. That's nice. He's got all my DVDs and he's seen me. And I was in the Walker Gallery. He's walking down the stairs. He said, Frank. And I went, oh, well, hello, Les. I was just walking up. I was, I had my head down. I didn't even know that he was in there. And he was walking past me. He said, Frank. And I went, oh, hello. And he said, I've got your DVDs. He said, it's great. He said, because it just says about Liverpool. And he said, thanks for doing them. I said, oh, thanks very much, Les. I said, do you fancy a cup of tea? He said, no, I'm going. I think he was on the Empire doing something.
Yeah.
He said, over there now.
He was doing a lot. I first met him when the Heads were in the Echo building.
Yeah.
And I got a phone call from a lovely guy called Jed Clark, who was his producer. And he was doing a series about Liverpool. Something like Les's Liverpool or whatever. Because our very own dear mate Dino did one early on, the early 2000s. And it was lovely. I ended up painting his portrait years later. But I think he too is a proud Scouse.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's great.
That's what it's all about. Scouse and proud.
Yeah.
That's what it is. We all are. And Paulie says, Slater was a rockin' band that can come on, feel the noise. That is a classic. It just shows. Well, I go along with you, Paulie. I'm not dismissing anything. People. If my own daughter likes Slade, well, I'm not going to argue.
It's just music like fashions is some things stay forever, some things don't. But that one track that they did kind of eclipsed everything they did, beforehand. And that's the unfortunate side of music. You're known for one thing, or acting. We've
all got our own tastes in music.
Yeah, that's the way it should be. Yeah.
Of course. Because you mentioned, like Slade and Quo. Quo, to me, were brilliant.
They were all kind of in the early 70s when everything blew up. Still, the log on from there was a documentary on.
I'm sorry I mentioned it. Slade. I'm sorry I mentioned Slade. Fuck Slade. I'm bothered about them.
Everything happened together, didn't it? Whether it be Mark Bolan, David Bowie, Slade, it all seemed to be the same weekend. It all came out.
From Birmingham, aren't they? All right then, Noddy. Noddy.
They are, yeah.
What are we playing next, Noddy?
Yeah. And they had an image which they were warned that's not going to sell, because they all had kind of shaven heads and wore Dr. Martens, which unfortunately at the time was linked to the National Front.
Yeah.
And stuff. Not that they were involved in that, but just they had that image. Like when you and I go out and we've got our docs on and
But I don't like you and your dress, you see. You're getting called Eddie Izzard. And the lovely answer is, are you Frank and Anthony?
Oh,
Are you Ann? And is Stan related to Chris? No. That's Chris Bourman, Stan Bourman.
no.
The outfit Rose laughing at it. He says, and Stan only pumped the tyres up. Crazy. And Jeanette says, my daughter left her boots at mine. When she called me, I was at a friend's house. I said, I've got your Gary Glitter boots in my house. She said, they are Dolce & Gabbana.
Which is a far more presentable name than Gary Glitters.
Absolutely. Bingo. And the answer is, how darts is not in the Olympics is beyond me. You can say they are all fine physical athletes. Olympic, yeah. Oh, blimey. That's a crack. That's a funny one, that. That's a cracker one, that. They're all fine athletes and should be in the Olympics. Paulie said, I know where they are now, the Botanical Garden. Thank you. Great picture of them too. The Anfield Lodge.
Great one.
He says, them javelins a bit big for the little javelin.
That's the only thing I used to love to watch in the Olympics. I couldn't stand it with the javelins because you always thought, oh my God, someone's going to get spiked with this.
And Paulie says, good night everyone, I'm up early with the wifey and daughter, Christmas shopping. It never ends. Christmas shopping and you're going to bed now.
Nearly ends. Well,
So,
Paulie,
love.
great Christmas, you and the family.
Yeah, definitely. And the lovely Myra says, I always thought Liverpool was a part of Scotland. Guess I was wrong. You're well wrong.
The son of Scotland came to Liverpool.
We have a Scotland Road, Myra.
And
excuse me. Excuse me. I'm taking a medicine. You know, and well, anyway, I won't explain like what it's doing to me. And this is why I'm all the time. Yes, so she Myra said, oh, start Liverpool was in there. There's a part of Scotland. I guess it was, yes, Myra. We have a Scotland Road, which is very famous in Liverpool.
And Everton was the area where the Scottish went. I mean, the Irish were connected to the Italians, and we lived kind of next door to each other. And then up the hill a little bit in Everton was where the Scottish came, wasn't it? And partly, I'm guessing, religious, you know.
Yeah. And don't forget, you had a great Scottish engineer. He gave us the tunnel into Dale Street, into Lime Street. You know, the tunnel that you come through when you're getting into Lime Street Station. Well, he designed and built that. And he's also got one of the most unusual headstones, which is a pyramid where he's buried.
Ah.
William Mackenzie.
and that
Yep.
supposedly is one of the most haunted spots in our beloved city.
And Lee Argent. Hiya, Lee. Hiya, Lee, mate. Myra was on before. I think she's still here. I'm not quite so sure. Lee. Missed you the other night as well. Unfortunately. Yeah, hello. Good evening, Frank, Mr. Brown, and legends. Wish you all a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. We've been worried about you. We've been saying where has that. Well, we hope you got to Calcutta okay. By plane. We don't know what happened, you say. You haven't been on. Haven't heard from you, but thank you anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Home for me, says Lee Argent. And Johan says, shout out to Tieran Friedman. That's nice, that, isn't it?
Yes, that's brilliant, that.
Yeah, Myra to Johan. That's lovely. Persian turquoise wizard wand. Isn't that lovely?
Yeah.
Johan, hey, says Lee. Do you know, Ran says, unfortunately, Chris Ray won't be driving home for Christmas. No, he's driving right up to heaven. Is our Chris?
Yeah.
Right up to heaven. Tehran's latest videos are from occupied Palestine. Respect to the lad, says.
Absolutely. Yeah. Big respect to the lad. Yeah. Fantastic.
Lad, Johan. Reminding people. The Anfield. That was fantastic film, that, Frankie. You really do speak of our city well, Frankie. And that summary by Frank and that young lad. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'd just come out of hospital when I did that.
Yeah, because he wanted you to.
Operation. He wanted me to. Yeah.
Meet him, didn't he? He wanted you to go somewhere to meet him.
Yeah, he wanted me to walk around the city and be filmed because he said, I'd love you to pick out certain spots where you'd like to be filmed and talk about the spots. I wish I could have done that. And I said, I'm in recovery. I said, he said, you got it? I said, no. I said, I had a triple repair aneurysm, so I'm recovering from it. I have to sit in the house. Okay. I said, you can come here, if you want to film. And he said, can I? I said, yeah. So anyway, he came up with his assistants and they filmed me. Just sitting there.
Brilliant. Fantastic film.
Thank you. And you're not saying that, are you, because you're my mate?
No, I'm saying it because it was a fantastic film. And you're my mate. But yeah, you're not ever gonna make a bum film, are you? You know, it's gonna be good. But all respect to Tieran, he was on it.
Yeah.
No.
We'll be talking about a friend of yours in the new year, who's just recently passed, and a great architect. And when we'll be talking about him, I'll get Jason to put a few pictures up of the work. And he's just recently passed within the week, hasn't he?
Within 2 days, yeah. A beautiful, we sing the praises of a lot of people, but we like to sing the praises of good people. And Gareth was a good man. He'd have fit well in on the park bench, you, me and Jason, and a couple of bags of chips.
And the Anfield Road on the park bench. And Johan.
Yeah. And
a few others. So we get a load of park benches. Put it like a circle.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we can all chat.
Well, we wouldn't be on them long because we'd probably be arrested after half an hour. When all them Scotches would be singing Slade songs.
Slade, I think that's what they do. I think they were a bit pissed when they were singing them songs because they shout them out anyway. Let's get away from Slade.
There's no way at Christmas time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The Anfield says, that's why coming from our city, we have always accepted isolation from these isles. But it just shows how ungrateful governments, conservative-wise, hate our other northern cities part. Yes. See, there's always been a north-south divide, and there's no like... people think that there's a rivalry, and when you realise that you're from like the same part of the country, north, they ease off a little. Because we're all the same. We fight against the economy in this country. And what I'm talking about, the South get everything. We get the scraps.
Yeah.
We get the scraps. And it's shocking. I've always fought with that, throughout the years.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Frankie, look at all those Scotches for me.
Here you go.
And I've just seen a little snide, a snide comment. Not by Steve. My first 2 albums owned were Slade Alive and Status Quo. Hello. God, blimey. Am I going to get Slade for the rest of my life? Sorry, I mentioned them. My friend is a blues guitarist. I want to get away from it. He was the best on this side of the Atlantic, Colin Kirby. Have you heard of him?
No, but I'll make it my business to. It's Jason.
And Jason says, Frank, it's only you who doesn't like Slade. And Anne says, I'm going on Dragon's Den in the new year. My idea, wing mirrors for horses.
That'd be great, but it's only come in useful at the Grand National, really, wouldn't it?
See what's coming up behind. Hello, Frank and chat. Merry Christmas if you're not on. Thank you. I've got a football pod tomorrow, and that's it then for the Christmas. And I'm doing the Wolves game.
So we on Saturday, isn't it?
No, it's this Saturday.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah, this Saturday. So I've got that. After the Crimbo. Merry Christmas anyway, Edward. You need to swig some grappa, Franco. Do I know? Do I know, Toscana?
Is that anything like gross?
Frank hitting the town on Wednesday, yeah, with Francine. Being Dale Street. Dale Street, I'll be. It should be around 3 o'clock. 2 or 3. And Jeanette says closer to the Irish than the Scottish. Yeah, we are closer to the Irish than the Scottish.
I'm a bit of both.
Yeah.
My dad was Scottish, my mum was Irish.
You're a first generation Scouser, aren't you?
Yeah.
Same as me. The Anfield's there too. I went on there with the invention of horse's saddle with indicators on it. This is the 10. And a bit of trouble with the reverse light though. Every time the tail went up, it went from white to black.
Oh, I love it. See, we are a city of inventors.
That's I had a rocking horse for Xmas once. Just my luck at times. I drove home from Speak Boulevard to Prescott. Got home 5 hours later. Wow. That's why I said to Francine, I didn't like. See, tomorrow will be a load of last-minute shopping. That's why I wanted to do it today. And she has a phone robbed, you know. No, she never. She had left us in a cab. So she's using her mother's one. And all right, the Amby says to you, and good to see you. We were worried for you. Yeah, see? See?
Bill.
And Jeanette says, who was the architect?
This is us talking about him.
About who? Oh, yeah. About his,
yeah.
That's right.
Our friend was an architect called Gareth Abbott.
And we will be talking about him, and we'll be showing his works.
Yeah.
Which is quite surprising. And Johan says, apologies, I couldn't send you the tram images. They shut down operations for Christmas as they make a no-vehicle walkway for 15 days. Poor planning on my part. If you sending me, about the trams.
Yeah, I remember a conversation, yeah. But I think that's brilliant.
He's hopeless then, isn't he, Johan? He's hopeless because he's poor planning on my part.
Well, hopefully you weren't on the tram when they shut it all down. Yeah.
Fancy sending him out to look for water in the desert. And he's apologising to Amby. I'm so sorry I had all worried. Had you all worried? Hope you've been well.
Okay.
Be worried, stressed out over you, Johan.
We look out for each other.
Thank God Slaughter's not called Julian Dix, or there will be Dix out in the cup.
No, that's Scout's humour.
That fucking Julian Zix as well was shocking. Ah,
Oh,
he had some bad plays. Anyway, my youngest uncle came to visit a few days ago, says Jenna. We call their family the Exorcists. That's where his wife and 2 girls now live with their family. Well, that's nice.
okay.
The Exorcists in Essex you're talking about. The Amphiador says to Anne there, I bought one of those bald eagles a year ago. I must warn you, though, they are very picky. It took all day trying on wigs at the vet until it was happy, very fussy. I'll have to show some pictures. How about some Christmassy ones? Do you mind? How's that? That brilliant.
That's brilliant. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Sefton Park, 63. That's when the
63.
lake froze over.
Wow.
Crosby, the Iron Men.
Formby Beach, yeah. Formby Beach.
Bill Shankly clearing the snow. The cop.
Wow. Wow. You know, we talked today, didn't we, privately about humble and modest people who just do their magic, you know.
Yeah. Getting out.
Yeah.
And again, the 62-63 winter, which was one of the most dreadful. And that's Southport. And look at the like the tides and the waves and frozen.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Johnny Walker, look, snow hitting them.
Wow.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yes.
That's stunning, though. The bandstand.
Yeah. Oh,
Sefton.
amazing.
Isn't that beautiful? You know what where that is? So that's the Isla Conservatory,
Yeah.
Stanley Park.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at that.
Wow.
St. George's Hall.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah. City of Liverpool is beautiful, whatever the weather, but stunning in snow.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be waiting for the bus though in that weather.
No. I remember being on the bus, and they were actually filming here, and it was midsummer, and it was a roasting day, because I'd never bring my car into in the city centre. Murder. I used to just get the bus in, and I was coming home, and I seen these like army vehicles and things, and I seen looking at 2 fellas, you know, from the bus on the steps of the Walker,
Oh.
and they had big heavy coats on and big Russian hats, and they were filming for the hunt for Red October because they was using Liverpool as Moscow, around the Kremlin,
Yeah.
the buildings.
Yeah. Wow.
Brilliant, that, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that is. And there's the lads.
The boys, the box of toys.
Yeah, not Slade, but
No.
a bit better than them.
That's a stunning picture, isn't it?
It is. It is, yeah. Still the blue in the sky and the snow.
Oh, it's just going dark, isn't it? Yeah. Did you know yesterday was the longest day? And it's getting later now. It starts to get later.
Okay.
Until the longest day on the 21st of June. Because the 21st of December is the shortest day.
Yeah.
And the 21st of June is the longest day. So everything after that, like the longest day, starts to become darker. And the shortest day after yesterday, like today, for example, starts to get lighter.
Yeah. Well, that too was devised or put up the Romans.
Yeah.
Is that a Roman calendar? Because this is the. It's incredible the things you find when you're looking for something else. We were talking last week, and it doesn't matter what we were talking about, but so the general scheme of things is that Christmas Day is the day that Jesus was born, and we celebrate that for the reason. But Christmas was the Roman solstice, if I'm right.
Yeah.
And Jesus was actually born in the summer.
Yeah.
But somewhere down the line, it made sense to say, let's do it all. Yeah. And then it'd be great if we had a band called Slade who wrote a song called Merry Christmas. And there you have it. The rest is history.
And that says he was terrible in Frank Dix, that is. Yes, he was, Julian. He's in what? We remember people saying, can't sign him with a name like that. And Janet says, my dad's was a Kelly, but my mum's family was Hogg, Stroke, Roberts, Scottish. So you got Irish and Scottish.
Yeah.
And that says TJU's building. I took a video of some demolition work. Are they taking it all down? Do you know? Yeah, they're taking it down.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's down or that they haven't been up there for a while. TJ's. And Jason says, I keep throwing pictures of Slade into Frank's green room. And I know you can piss off as well. Even the Rose laughing at Jason. Look. January 86, we played Norwich in the FA Cup and it was snow everywhere. We played with an orange ball. Says yes,
Wow.
we liked orange balls because you can see it clearly
Absolutely.
in the whiteness of the snow.
No.
It's no use having a white ball, is it? Be able to see it. 6 foot of snow. And the agents who are, yeah, I just walked past it there an hour ago. Remember shopping there in the 90s?
GJ's. Yeah, legendary store.
Legendary, yeah. 63, the year me dad, the ice was thicker than 10 inches, says the Anfield.
Wow.
Mad, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
The bandstands in Sefton Park, says Janet. Oh, that was the picture before.
Yeah.
Saying Slades were musically talented is like saying Peter Stringfellow was a celibate, says thank you, Al. At least someone's on my side. Or Slade fans.
We were not on your side. It was just there.
This city has some great buildings, says the door. We must keep what we have. Yeah, but you want to see what's been gone. Anfield, honestly.
But that's kind of what we're going to get into Anfield over the next 3 months. The people who actually built these great buildings, designed them. Oh. Myra.
That one is a hell of a photo, that, says they're all good, to be honest now.
Yeah.
And Jason says, I've booked Dave Hill for next Christmas show. And Anne says, rumour has it that Jesus was born in April. I seen somewhere.
Yeah.
I thought he was born in Bethlehem.
April's next door to Bethlehem, yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh, well, that's right. That fellow's Zephyrs, isn't it?
Yeah, I read he was born in the summer months. But
can I deliver a car for you over the next few days? Says Jeanette.
yeah,
I don't know where it'll be. I'm out shopping tomorrow all day. I'll be out. Then I'm doing a pod in the evening. I'm out on Christmas Eve, meeting up with a load of scallywags. Christmas Day, I'm out for me dinner. Unfortunately. Today would have been your best day, Jeanette. It is a family day, says. Yes, it is.
yeah.
It is. It's a get-together for all the family. In the Anfield. And I went to one of those Stringfellows. I didn't actually realise it would be Peter in a tongue sliding up and down the pole, very overheated.
Oh.
How about these prints? Go on to these prints. William Oakes Mill. And that's how we get Oak Street today. Through the milliner there.
But how fantastic is that? With the two cathedrals, what are you going to do? Anything other than hope?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you where it was around that. It was, do you know, just by the Philharmonic Hall
Yeah.
there. Philharmonic Hall. That's where it was like situated. If you look at that print, you see it going down, don't you? Because if you
Yes.
buy the Philharmonic Hall or the Philharmonic pub, and you look down, don't you?
You do, because you're kind of top of the hill, aren't you? Or,
Yeah, and that's it. Yeah. That's it. It's good though, isn't it?
it's fantastic. I mean, that was the beauty of you know, um, the paintings and the drawings and the stuff that were produced long before photography, because it gives us a sense of scale and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. And the advert says, Jason, Daville's overbite has opened many bottles of stout. Jeremy Barnes says, why don't we all celebrate Christmas on the first day of snow? What if it doesn't snow? You left it there.
Yeah. Wait till February or whatever. Or May.
Or never. I don't like modern architecture in the city. It looks terrible to me, amongst all the glory of the class of the old buildings. Yeah, but you've got some nice ones, I must admit, because you have some modern ones that tries to blend in, but the rest of them can go and do one for me. I hate those black granites on the waterfront. Just hate them with a vengeance. And Steer says, I was in Mar Edgerton's and the Crown yesterday for winter solstice drinks. Try and get a copy of the latest Merseytime magazine about Liverpool heritage pubs. Okay. Just going to go through some of these, if I might, Anthony.
Absolutely, Frank.
Leathers Lane is the only medieval street left in Liverpool.
Get away.
Yep. The only one. And why do you think it's called Leathers Lane?
Is it must have featured at one time a tannery?
Yes, bang on. Yeah, at the top. The tannery.
Which is the slope, so all the blood can run down the street.
Yep. Could imagine it, couldn't you?
Imagine the stench of living there. Wow.
And Jeanette says, can you come to Prescott to talk about Shakespeare? There you go.
Yes.
Yeah. Do that for you. I'll do that for you, Jeanette. Get in touch with me. That'll be great, Anthony. I'll have very interesting backstories to our architecture. There you go.
Cheers, Anfield.
The water tower in Anfield is a beautiful building. It is. And a fellow by the name of who was I'm going to ask Anthony this. Who was the very first medical officer of Veld?
Dr. Duncan.
And his cousin designed that, Thomas. Brilliant, isn't it?
It is brilliant.
That went up in 1848, by the way. And he also built a reservoir in High Park Street. That's brilliant, though.
It's so good that it's still there.
Yeah. My daughter went outside to play in the snow, but she hadn't. It's very much. How old is she? And Jeanette said, good luck with your shot. Eileen, look, to be honest, Jeanette. There was a mill there was mills all over the place, Jeanette. Mills all over the place. And Lee says, the view from Everton Valley Park at night is a Scouse wonder.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that it's, and Jeanette, the pub in Prescott was called the Old Mill, as well as being called the Long Pull, now called the Stage Door.
Fashions.
It was also called Mark Kelly's, and that's in Prescott. She gives me a thumbs up. That must be for the talk. Anyway, Anthony, we've come to the end.
Yes, dear sir. But we will talk, or if possibilities, I will see you for a toast.
Yes. Well, certainly, and we'll toast these beautiful people.
We will.
And Steve Mulholland, I recently took some pictures of Queen Avenue, one of the best secrets in Liverpool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done lots of, I've done that on my DVD, and it's brilliant, and no one bothers. I've never ever shown you my piece. I'll ask Jason to show it one day.
Yeah.
My favourite piece of history, Liverpool history. It's quite surprising. You see, there's a certain building, I'm going to get Jason to break it down when we're talking about architecture. And I'll surprise you that it's the architect. I'm not saying who it is. I'm not saying who it is. He looked at it and he said, he was only a young architect, and he said, if I ever get a big commission, I'm going to put that in, because he was inspired by a certain thing. And it's here in Liverpool. And we'll be showing you that when we're doing you might as well call it the history of architecture, mightn't we?
Yeah. Yeah.
Best wishes for Christmas and the New Year if I don't see you guys. Says Lee Argent. Thank you, Lee. Thank you so much. And same to you, my friend.
And all the best to you and yours.
And Christopher, Merry Christmas, Frank and Anthony and Jason and everyone up the history Reds, says Christopher.
All the best, Christopher, to you and yours. Have a great one.
Don't forget, I'm doing a football podcast tomorrow night. Thank you, gentlemen, and chat for your brilliant company, says Owen Lee. Good night, all. Good night, Owen. Thank you so much.
Owen, thank you.
And Lee Argent, later. Thank you, Lee. Toscana. Grazie, Franco, Anthony, and chatters. I'm still laughing at Janette's comment about the cop and Julian. I'm not going to mention his surname.
Well, it's good to laugh, you know, in the face of everything that's going on. It's always good to laugh.
And Jason says, wishing all our friends here a Merry Christmas and best wishes for the new year. All that's left to say is, you know what he's taking off there, don't you?
I know what he's doing.
Will you shout that name out for all the people? I wonder if you know the way you get Tony off people. I call you Anthony. I get called Francis, as you know, by certain people.
Yeah.
And so you're always short the name. I wonder if what's a noddy? Yeah, nod. All right, nod.
Yeah.
Tune next, nod. What song shall we play next, nod?
Well, I mean, what's noddy short for?
Fuck off.
Oh, shelter. Christmas.
Sorry to swear on Christmas. But anyway, it's been an eventful year, everybody. It really has been an eventful year. And lovely little Lambie. Merry Christmas to Frank, Anthony, and all you chatters. Peace. That's lovely.
That is lovely. And peace, yeah, for all of us. Yeah.
And Johan, have a great Christmas. Legends. Thank you, Johan. And you too, my good friend. Over there in Calcutta.
Yeah.
Jason, and that's a quiz in the Christmas swear box. It says false asking, a question, and I had to answer it. Noddy, noddy older.
Well, we started the day with this like 8 o'clock this morning, didn't we? And Jason swearing at us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he swears, isn't he?
You know.
You're a snitch, you. I would never have mentioned that.
That's it. No card ever for me then, yeah.
I wouldn't like anyone to go into a desert looking for water for me anyway. And I wouldn't like you to be with me and, loads of Germans. Do you know, can I tell you a funny little story? And it's true, this.
Yeah.
Remember Cairnsey, Jackie Hamilton?
Yeah.
Right. And he got an extras job, and it was about German, British prisoners, captured by the Germans. Right.
Yeah.
And he's standing there, he's standing in a uniform, and the buttons are open because the thing was saying he's got his, his big beer belly, and he's standing there. And the casting director was walking up to make everyone was, looks all right, for this like shot. And he went up to Kearnsey and he went, "Look at your big belly." And do you know what he said? I was only captured yesterday. I was only captured yesterday. That's a true story. That's what he said. Oh, it's brilliant, Kearnsey. Fucking hell. Anyway, on that wonderful note, on that little ping, I'll just say a good night to Anthony. I'll just say a good night to Gap Painting Services for sponsoring all the pods.
Yeah.
And to Jason, who's been great tonight and every all right through the year.
Yeah.
And I've got, don't forget, I've got a pod tomorrow night, football pod. I've got one on Saturday as well, which is the watch along. They'll be coming on about 2:15 for the pre-match, then the watch along, then the post-match. And that's about it. That's about it from me. And if I don't see any of you, have a great Christmas. Honestly, and be careful, by the way. Be very careful. And don't drink and drive. Get a cab or walk home. Honestly, don't drink and drive. And Bella, the lovely Bella. Buonanotte Franco e Antonio, buona Natale e migliori auguri per l'anno nuovo. That means, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Mille grazie, Bella. Anche. Buona Natale.
Thank you, Bella. Happy New Year to you too, and a very happy Christmas.
That story was one for just chatting on the park bench. Shut up, you.
Yeah.
How about it? It's a true story, though. That's the thing. Johan, it's a true story. I was only captains yesterday. Look, like the full thing was, can't you say I was only captains yesterday? Because he had his big fat belly. He was a great comedian, was Johnny Kearns. I always remember him. I went to, what's the name of the bloody club? Anyway, I was there. I was sitting in the front. And, you're trying to be impressive. And there was another couple sitting at a table.
Yeah.
You had a beer and that, whatever. And he goes over to this couple and bends down and went, "Have you got a cigarette? I've left mine in the machine." He said that he was in like the Toxteth riots that time.
Yeah.
Right. And he said, I had to phone my mum up. And he said, "Mum, honestly, don't be worrying because there was a parent down in Torquay," he said, in a club. And he said, "I better phone my mum or she'll be dead worried." So anyway, he phones her over. He said, "Mum, I'm all right. I'm all right." She said, "Well, what's it like down there?" He said, "Oh, it's terrible." He said, "The windows are smashed." He said, "There's a big shop here, all the windows smashed." And she said, "Have they got any Hoovers there?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "Can you bring me one home?" Just not sure.
It's,
You bring me one home. Happy Christmas, everyone, and a great New Year, says the lovely Bella. Thank you. That's a touchdown.
too.
Even Johan's laughing at us. Look, he's laughing at that. And that's what he was like, the wonderful, the late Jackie Hamilton.
Brilliant.
Cairnsy, his name was to us.
Yeah.
Johnny Cairns. Great fellow. Do you know his sister was one of my mature students, you know?
No, I didn't know. We never talked.
Yeah,
Oh.
she said, honestly, she said to me, "Oh, Johnny wants to join the class, you know, because I was doing this history thing." I said, "No." I said, I can't join. I said, it'd be like a comedy show. I wouldn't let him join, you know.
Oh.
It's terrible, isn't it?
That's
guilty. But
yeah.
I say they were doing exams. Could you imagine him coming in? Talking about jails and everywhere.
Yeah.
And on that wonderful note, thank you, ladies and gents. Hope to see some of you tomorrow. If not, Saturday.
Yeah.
And if I don't see any of you tomorrow or Saturday, just have a great Christmas. Be careful. Drive safely. Don't drink and drive, please. Because you'll always get to your destination. Use a bus. Use a taxi. That'll be great. And don't forget them taxi drivers. They've taken, their time off to have a good time to make you or to make your journeys more safe by bringing you from A to B. Never forget that. Thank you, Anthony.
Thank you, Frank.
See you later, eh?
Yeah, man.
I'll give you the link. Okay. Peter Brown, God bless Frank and Ant. Thank you, Peter. Thank you.
Happy Christmas, Peter.
It's like saying goodbye, isn't it? Forever.
Well, it's a landmark occasion, isn't it, every year? But we're all in good spirits. Everyone's in good spirits, and that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
That's where Jackie Hamilton fits in with everything.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's my favourite carol is Hark the Angels Sing.
Yeah.
And my favourite band that sang Christmas songs. Coming out with Christmas songs. And do you know what mine is?
Would it be that Scout guy that wrote a Christmas song?
Yes. Certainly is. So this is Christmas.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
The great Mr.
On that wonderful note. We all know it wasn't fucking Slater.
Ka-ching, another pound in the swear box there.
Jason's gone berserk. He's gone berserk. He must be, drinking all that eggnog back.
Oh, that's where it's gone.
The eggnog kid. Jason, the eggnog kid. And on that wonderful note, thank you, people. I hope to see some of you tomorrow. Hope to see some of you there Saturday as well. I think I'm having a film and TV review on the Saturday morning. I think I am. But if not, I'll see you very soon. Thank you. Ciao. Buonanotte. Buona Natale. Merry Christmas.